All right, we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. We have a great friend of mine today, a fellow independent filmmaker, Al Greeze, with his Frustrated series. He just released Frustrated 3. We have him. We're going to chop it up with him. But first, we're going to go ahead and play the trailer so you guys can kind of see, the context of the documentary that he made. So let's go ahead and play the trailer now, and we're going to get Al to come on the back end of it. Let's go. Oh, do we got audio? Here we go.
Sorry. Feel more beholden to the government.
Sorry about that, fellas. Here we go.
When you date a woman and she may be a potential wife, it's a competition thing all the way. I can't take it no more.
They feel propped up because they feel more beholden to the government. And then their man comes second. That's why they figure that they're strong, independent, don't need no man, because they have the government.
Because the men are failing us, to be honest. Guys thinking about themselves, and they'll think about you after you react.
You don't hear anything about being good wives and all the other stuff. What you hear is you're strong and you independent. You can do it on your own. You got black girl magic, black girl rock, but you ain't said nothing about black family.
My mother is like what they consider to be the strong black woman. I feel like I projected that onto the guys that I dated.
Ladies have no idea how stiff their competition really is. You have no clue how black men are viewed in the rest of the world. We are the #1 most sexually desired man on the face of this planet.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have.
All right. Hey, that clip, Culture Clinician, he said they would call Jesus Dusty, be having me rolling every time, man. But welcome to the show, Al Greeze. What's going on today, my brother? How's everything going with
you? Everything is good, man. I'm blessed, man. Finally got Frustrated 3 out. They've been on my back about it. And thanks to the support of my brothers from BMO Black Man's Option Group, man. They came through for me on that, as you can see. and I was able to get the project done, man, and get it out, man. So shout out to them brothers. Shout out to Kosher too, man. That's my line in there too, man.
Okay.
Jesus, when he said that, man, when you filming, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess up the flow, man. And he hit me with that, man. I was like, woo, woo. He said, Jesus was here. They call him Dusty.
Yeah.
He ain't lying either, man. He's not lying.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I also want to thank you guys at the Black Man Option as well. I went to y'all meetup out there in Brazil when I was out there in Brazil. Y'all showed me a lot of love, man. I still got my BMT coin. Shout out to Rest in Power, Charles Tyler. See, I still got it.
Hey, Aaron. Now listen, that we showed you some love. You're gonna have to return that favor, man.
Oh, you already know, man.
You got to return that favor, man. You know, we all brothers that travel together, man. So yeah. Shout out to that, man. So yeah, those some good brothers, man. We got good leadership, man. Shout out to E, the Prez, and the Ghost. You know, the GM and all that. We label our shit, man. So shout out to the Prez and the Ghost, man. And you know, there's some good dudes, man. They know what they're doing. Man.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. And rest in power to the brother Charles Tyler. It was actually the first Frustrated movie and his Facebook group, along with Charles Tyler YouTube channel, that kind of got me to go over the hump to Brazil. Finally, it was the visuals that I saw, you know, in that first Frustrated movie. But let's go back before we get, you know, into all that. Let's go back. I want to ask, you know, how did you get involved in filmmaking? Let's go back to the very beginning. Like, what sparked your interest?
I've always been a creative person. I was always a creative cat, and I like to write. Man. And believe it or not, man, I was out in Alaska. I was out in Alaska. I was working for this financial company out in Alaska, and one of my clients was reading scripts for TriStar Pictures and different pictures. They would send her scripts out there, and she would read them and give them the nod. And she invited me. I had to go drop some paperwork over to her house, and I saw these scripts, tons of scripts on there. I was like, you know, what are you doing today with all these scripts? And she's like, oh, I read for them. They have me read these scripts, and I tell them, if, you know, based on her opinion, if they were good or not. I was like, damn, you know, I always wanted, you know, to write one, put something together. I'm a creative person. She's like, oh, you want to write them? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. And she broke the whole process down to me. Go get this. Start off with index cards. Go get this. And write down your scenes on. Get your 100 index cards. You need 100 scenes. Just write the scene down. Just write your scene down. Don't write no dialogue. Go back, do this. I was like, okay. I started following her, man, and then she told me get the scriptware program. I went and got the scriptware program, and I was like, that was my school. I was like, yeah, what's next? What's next? And she was like, okay, do this. And I wrote it. You know, what better advice to get from somebody who reads scripts? She was like, nope, this ain't it. You got to go back. I'm like, damn, try it again. Nope, it's got to go back. And she was like, every third scene, you got to have something that pop to keep the audience attention. So every third scene, you need, bam, you got to hit me with something. You going out too long. Every third scene, hit me. And I went back. She said, okay, now you're getting it. Go back again. I kept going. Finally, it was done. And it was crazy because, you know, once you get hooked, and I had to go over to her house. And her husband had had the little plane. They had like a landing strip in the back of their house. He used to fly them little planes and shit in Alaska because Alaska, it's hard to get supplies in and out. And he had his own company doing that. So he would land in script. It'd be me and his wife at the house. Sometimes it'd be 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And he didn't, you know, honey was for dinner. Hey, Al, how you doing? How you making out? And cool white folks, man. They were like, how you making out? And she kept moving and kept working it. And then finally I was done. And she was like, okay, it's done. Where you going now? I was like, well, shit, I don't know. You know, she was like, you need this book here. It's called the Hollywood Creative Directory book. You get this book. And she gave me that book as a present for, you know, completing and getting the script. She's like, here, okay, look through that book. This is the book that has everybody named in Hollywood that has a production company. And I didn't know, like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a production company. I saw Def Jam Pictures. Just with the whole thing, they had everybody. So I just started calling because you can get through the direct line and they give you the name of the individuals and stuff in that book. So I was like, yo, let me speak to such and such. She was like, yeah, how you doing? Yo, this is Al Greeze. Then I put that New York City slick shit on them. You know, I'm gonna be in town. I gotta drop the script off. I'll be in town for 2 days. I got the script. I gotta drop it off and all that stuff, man. And they were like, okay, come in. You know, come down. So at that time, Babyface had did some films. Was doing films and shit, man. And I just went to LA. Got on a plane, went to LA. I was staying in Hollywood, and I was looking for Babyface. I said, damn, you know, because you want to go who could maybe can understand your story. And I went to the music company. I did this on purpose. Let me give you some game. Let's pick game to you. I went to his music division. And I went out there. I was dressed professionally and shit. Nice little suit on. I said, I'm here to see Babyface. They don't let you upstairs. Out in Beverly Hills, they won't let you upstairs. So they called up. Who are you? Greeze. Who are you here to see? Hold on. I said, well, I got a script. And they was like, oh, you in the wrong building. You in the wrong building. You got a script. You got to go to the Hollywood building. I was like, oh, can you do me a favor? Because I'm in a rush. I got to catch a flight out of here. I just got to drop the script off to him. Can you let him know I'm coming? Can you just let him know I'm coming so I can drop the script off to him so I could go? So they was like, yeah, who I need? What's the person's name over there? They was like, this is the person's name. So I went over there. Yo, I'm here to see so-and-so. And they're like, go up third. They let me up. I got in. I got in the building and I met was it Tatiana Ali? All of them cats were reading script for him and shit. So I was like, and they were like, no, you're in the wrong room. You got to go over there. So I went over there to the right and met the chick, gave her my script, and gave me a release form and stuff for the script and all that stuff, man. So when I went downstairs, they were downstairs waiting on me. And I was like, what's up? They were like, yo, who you? Who you? Yo, you a producer? You this, yo, you this, and come hang out with us, man. We about to go over here and get something to eat and shit. And the little actors and actresses and shit. And I was like, Kevin Hart, my accounts ain't set up like that. You know, my accounts ain't set up like that right now. I'm fucking with y'all. Y'all run up a, $2,000-$3,000 tab right now. That'll put me in the hole. I can't mess with y'all right now. Excuse me, brother. I can't mess with y'all right now. So went back and I got the bug. And then film became cheaper to do because the invention of digital film. And you didn't have to worry about shooting on film, which film back then cost a lot of money. That would eat up your budget shooting on film. And so when the digital cameras and stuff started coming out and that technology started moving, so they put me in a position where I could take on projects that I can handle myself and bring to completion. So that was a big game changer.
Okay, great. Excellent. Do you hear echo?
I do not.
Okay, that must be on my end for some reason. Okay, we good. Let me catch a couple of these super chats real quick. I got Man Tomorrow in the building. Shout out to my dude, Man Tomorrow. With $10 super chat, I really appreciate that. He says he would never get the credit he deserves. What do you feel about that? Like, I know we just spoke earlier about the first Frustrated series came out. You know, it was that transition between, I think, streaming and DVDs. So a lot of it, because I first saw it on YouTube, like a lot of other guys, you had like 1 million views on YouTube, right?
Over 1 million views, man. I had like 3 to 5 million views, but it was from other individuals that were snatching up my work. So it wasn't off of me per se. It was other guys that were uploading the work on there. So I understand. I get what he's saying, because when people were watching it, they didn't know. When you saw the movie Greeze Films and all that stuff, you didn't know who Greeze Films were, and you probably thought the individual who uploaded it was his work. It was his work. And then as I began to get a hold of it, my work and get it taken down and going through that process of getting it taken down. And once I got it taken all down and now trying to reestablish it and stuff. So, the older cats that have been in the game, the travel game, guys like yourself, Charles, and other guys, shout out to Beautiful Eyes, Coach, all the other traveling brothers know that started from me. Some of the newer cats may not know that. Like anything else, when you're the first one out with something like that, because nothing like that had hit the market at that time. And it was rare that you seen a film from a man's, especially a black man's perspective. And even though it included women, it had women in it on this side, but it was made for a black man, made for black men, made by a black man for black men.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes, sir.
That was something new, and then it gave a kind of a solution to the problem in that movie. And at that time, you didn't have guys that were traveling, didn't know anything about traveling, especially
like myself.
Didn't know anything about going to Brazil or maybe I should get a passport and what that passport meant and what it can do for you, and showing you Brazil, because we shot that in Brazil as well, and showing you Brazil, and showing you guys out, and so that was groundbreaking, and a lot of guys, you know, who pivot off of that, but it was still fairly new, and like you said, my good brother Charles, man, may he rest in heaven, had vision to put a group behind it. You know, the Black Man's Option group, he put that whole group behind it, and then when he put the group behind it, brothers started from the internet and Facebook going on to the group, and then from the group he would invite brothers out. I saw a picture with you out on the beach with Charles out in Brazil, so he would invite brothers out. It kind of took the fear away from it, because a lot of us, man, be honest, a lot of us don't even like to leave the state we in, the city we in, the block we on. A lot of us don't feel comfortable leaving those areas. So Charles made it comfortable. Yo, I'm gonna be out there. So guys was like, oh, you gonna be there? Yeah, I'm gonna show you the ropes, the ins and outs and shit, man. Come to Brazil. Here's the beach week. This is my beach week, man. We coming out, and boom, he was gone. He was gone.
Okay, so let me ask you. The first year was what? Was it 2012 when you first came out with this?
Somewhere around, yeah.
Okay, now I know at that point, because now we got all these YouTube channels, you know, the messages out there, you know, Western women, you know, a lot of men traveling overseas. You got the whole Passport Bros movement. But when you came out originally, was it kind of unpopular? Was it like an unpopular opinion? Did you catch any backlash?
There was no whole traveling movement. Now I would say there was guys that were traveling already. You had older guys that I met that were traveling already, but from the whole Passport Brothers, Black Men Travels, the whole BMO, all that stuff, that wasn't popular. Guys teaming up together doing it. So you had more single guys, you know, especially most of the guys I met were a lot older at that time, ex-military, who used to traveling from the military, who knew about these places from being in the military. So at that time, it wasn't as popular for young guys. So in the beginning, a lot of them thought I was crazy. A lot of them, you know, looking at them, men traveling here, men traveling there, men traveling there. Shit, he crazy. Especially the women's side of it. They were like, yeah, you crazy. Them dudes ain't going nowhere. They broke. They this, that, and the third. So when it got them to focus on themselves, and when you start to focus on yourself and put a plan together, somehow brothers found the money. Stop taking them to Applebee's and letting them get the 3-course meals and all that shit and wasting money.
3-course meals at Applebee's, right?
Yeah. You know how they do. They can want two, 3 margaritas and, you know, entrees, and they want the main course and dessert and all that stuff. And you start saving money there and stop saving money. You don't need Jordans, and you realize when you travel, you really don't need no Jordans. You know what I'm saying? And when I go to Brazil, my shoe game is flip flops. I got a mean flip flop game. I try to go to hit all of them. You know, this flip flops. And it's more about being comfortable. And you don't need the designer. You don't need the Gucci belts. You don't need the Fendi belts. You don't need all that stuff. And that's when you start saving money. So brothers found the money. And then year by year, you start seeing groups form together and guys start teaming up, and guys start traveling.
Okay, excellent. Let me catch the super chat by my boy Delano Music. Shout out to you, man, with the 5 super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, I just purchased Frustrated 3. Guys, the link is in the top of the comment section and in the description. So make sure you go to the link and check out the documentary. He says, I've been traveling since I was 2. Al, thank you for being one of the driving forces that influence Black men to travel. Shout out to Delano Music. Very
thank you, man. Thank you for your support too, brother. I appreciate it.
Give me 1 second. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, let me fix that real quick. All right, give me 1 second. But while I do this, let me ask you this, man. Why Brazil? What was the influence of you to get brothers to go down to Brazil? I'll be right back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you want me to
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Answer.
I went to Brazil, because I went there, so I know what I was talking about. So it wasn't something that I was just spewing nonsense off the top of my head and randomly picking a country I knew nothing about. So when I decided to, my focus was Brazil, because I went there and I saw it, and I received the treatment and how they treated Black men over there. So when I came back and wanted to share that story, and I was at a family barbecue, and I met the good brother Dr. Larry Davis out there in DC area, and I heard him speaking Portuguese, and I thought he was Brazilian, and me and him sat down and we chopped it up, and he was telling me that he learned the language because he planned on going there, and I shared my experience by him going, by me just coming back from there, and he was like, "Yo, can I? Did you read that article about Essence?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not familiar with that article, man."
The Essence article, yep.
In the Essence article, I didn't know anything about it. He sent it to me, and I read it, and I was like, "Man, that's trash. That's trash, man." And he was like, "Well, your cousin told me you're a filmmaker, man. You should do a project on it." And I was like, "You know what? At that time I had a couple of coins in my pocket, and I was kind of out of the film game a little bit, and that put me back in it. And I went back before I started filming. I went back to get some points of reference because I wanted to interview some guys out there. I already knew John Thompson because my previous trip out there, he rented me the apartment. My man turned me on to him, and I met the big homie Johnny Johnson. I met the big homie out there. When I came out to get a point of reference, he took me under his wing, man, and he showed me a lot of stuff, introduced me to people that I can interview and stuff. And I went back, wrote the script. I wrote the script of how I wanted to tell the story, and came back looking for a crew to take with me. And it was disappointing because most of the brothers I knew in filmmaking had no passports. They didn't have any passports, and I couldn't wait for them to go through that process.
Facts.
To go and get one, to go get their passports, and a lot of them didn't even know the process. Like, well, passport. What I need a passport for? I'm like, yo, we're gonna go film in Brazil, and it's all on me. I got you. I got the room. I got you. I got the room and board. I got your flight. I got your meal, your alcohols, and all that shit is on you, and all that other shit. But I got the basics for you, and they didn't have any, man. And I can't remember his name. This cat, this white guy I knew up in upstate New York in Scarsdale. He shoot commercials. He shoot commercials, tricks, dogs, and all that. He was shooting commercials and stuff, man. Crazy dude. And he was, he'd come by, yo, what are you up to, man? I said, man, listen, I know you got some cats and stuff, man. I'm looking to go to Brazil and film in Brazil. And he was like, oh, I got the perfect guy for you. You going? I got the perfect guy for you, man. Awesome guy. I got the perfect guy, man. And he wasn't lying. We still cool to this day. And met up with him and had to take him and another cat out there. I had to take them out there with me, man. And we had a 3-man team, guerrilla filming. I know you know about guerrilla filming.
Oh, you already know, yeah.
Yeah. That's the basic for indie filmmakers. You got to go guerrilla. So, and the guys were awesome, man. And we got the project done. But as I look back on the project, I wish I had some brothers to take out there with me to experience that. But at the time, none of them didn't have the paperwork right. None of them had passports.
Okay. I got another super chat here by my guy Marcus Love, the Naughty American expat with the Kenyan shilling with the 500. I really appreciate that. He says Frustrated 3 is an instant classic. So he watched it, and he's saying, guys, it's an instant classic. So make sure you check it out. Okay, I got another super chat here.
Marcus, man. I was fortunate to meet Marcus out in Brazil, man. He came out to one of the trips, man. Cool brother, man. And it's crazy because, like you said, most of the guys, you probably could attest to this, man. Guys from the most of my friends and I'm real cool with, I met them overseas. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, most of the cats you're cool with, man, overseas, like-minded individuals. So in the States, man, I really don't. I got some cats that I associate with, just through association. But man, most of my brothers and most of the cats that I'm really down with, man, I met from overseas, man.
Okay. Shout out to the brother from Down Under with $2 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He said, shout out to the BMT family, of course, to the BMO family. Congrats to Al Greeze for the successful release of Frustrated 3. Coach, we would get the block hot in Brazil, South Africa, and then Thailand. Salute. That's what's up, man.
Listen, they call me the coach, man, because I get them boys lined up. I get them lined up in position, man, so they can be successful. So, we got the whole team concept out there, man. We look out for each other. We get the guys out and get them in position, man, where they could be successful and what to do and what not to do. And most important, what not
changing lives, man. You definitely changed mine. But let me ask you this. In your documentary, your film, did you do the film festival circuit with it?
I did. As a matter of fact, I got ties to Atlanta too. Mm-hmm. So went to the Peace Tree Film Festival in Atlanta.
Is that Lynn Gibson's Peace Tree Film Festival?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Shout to Lynn. Now I gotta ask you, because I know how Atlanta is. It's very, liberal, matriarchal culture out there. What was the response when you premiered it at the film festival in Atlanta? I gotta hear this, man.
You know what? My publicist turned me on to Lynn. Mm-hmm. I met Lynn through my publicist. So me and Lynn was talking, and Lynn invited me out to Atlanta. He said, "Yo, come to Atlanta, and I want to do just a little private viewing. We're gonna have a little private viewing at I can't recall her name. I apologize. It's the girl that used to be on the Steve Harvey show that played Cedric Entertainer's girlfriend,
Levita. Well, that's the character Levita, but I forgot her real name.
Right. Okay, she had a private studio out there, and she was teaching classes and stuff. So we hit her spot up, and I bought some food in and all that stuff. So we had it. So Lynn told me, "Yo, I read the Peachtree Film Festival. Come out to the festival. I want you to bring this to the festival," because he saw the reaction that it had there. So I went to the Peachtree Film Festival and went to the whole welcome and dinner thing and stuff, man. And then Lynn hit me. I looked at the time slots that they give each film. So they gave me an 8:00 in the morning time slot. And I was like, "Yo, Lynn, I thought we was cool." I thought we was cool. We boys, you invite me out here, and you hit me with an 8:00 time slot.
Yeah, nobody's getting up for that one, man.
Yeah, I said, "Yo, Lynn, that's whack, man." And he was like, "Man, listen, I'm not in control of that, man. Them chicks, they, you kind of irritated some of them chicks." And they was like, "We'll put him in the morning so we can get him out of the way." And I was like, "But I thought this was you ran the joint. You know what I mean? So you could have stopped that." And he was like, "Man, I'm hands off, man. When it comes to that, man, I'm sorry, but you got an 8:00 in the morning slot." And I was heated.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you're gonna let it do what it do. So I got there 8:00 in the morning, and to my surprise, it was packed. It was packed. Everybody was running around, and I went by, my section, and it was packed inside there. And I was like, okay, but it's still some people walking around. So I stood outside the door, and I saw this brother walking. I was like, "Hey, excuse me, brother, you're looking for a film? Man, you should come out and check out this film. I wrote it, produced it, directed, everything." And he was like, frustrated. Okay, all right, brother, I'm gonna come in and see what you did. I come in there. I was like, "Thank you, brother." So went in there, shut the door to watch the film. Film went off, and I went up to the podium to speak because you got to take questions, answer questions. And before I could get up, before I could say anything, the brother stood up and was like, "Man, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for telling me to come and see this film."
Mm-hmm.
While the film was playing, I just booked my flight to Brazil. And he put the phone up like this. I got Delta flights. So I said, "If y'all don't believe me, this is stuff I was going through. And I didn't know what outlet to take. Man, thank you. I'm gone. I would love to stay, but I got to go home and pack my bags." And he broke out. And I wish they had social media like it was at that time, because I would have hooked up and exchanged information and shared the story. Let him share the story. But he got up, man, broke out. He was gone. And then I had the conversation with the ladies. The older ladies in the room were kind of agreeing with the film, and then some of the younger generation was disagreeing with it. And until one young girl stood up there, she was like, "Listen, I just graduated from college. I'm in college debt. I work for a firm out here, and there was a UPS guy that used to come up and deliver all their packages and stuff. And she, they would flirt a lot, and she liked them a lot. And the girls that worked in the office pulled her to the side, like, "You don't want food with him. UPS worker, girl, leave him alone." And she was like, "Well, shit, they make about 70 grand. I'm starting out at 45. He make more money than I do." And she felt that she missed out on an opportunity listening to her co-workers with that ideology of having to, you got to have this type of dude and all that stuff. But, and she felt she missed out on that. So she connected to the film in that way. And she agreed on the points, especially when I was talking about education and finances in the film, and she kind of agreed with it. So it was a success for me right then. So then I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take it to another festival." So I was looking to go to the film festival they had in Miami.
The American Black Film Festival with what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? Jeff something, right?
I can't recall his name, but I went and got the information and they submit the film and all that stuff, and you know, I had to pay. I paid to submit the film, and I didn't get a response from him. I didn't get a response. I was like, you know, what the hell going on this stuff, man? What's going on? What's going on? And I got my stuff back. They kicked it back to me. I was like,
they have a lot of sponsors, BET, and I believe Ebony might be one of their sponsors too. It was either Ebony or
I can't speak in great detail of, you know, who their sponsor was, whatever. But they kicked mine back. They kicked it back to me.
And they usually don't send. They usually don't send them back.
They sent mine back. And, you know, and sent my money back. They sent everything back. I was like, whoa. So then I figured, you know, I had something. Maybe I got something, because, you know, they seem to be irritated by this film. The film seems to be an irritant. I don't know who, but maybe I got something. And I was thinking about releasing it, but, you know, maybe I took it this way when they sent it back, because from guerrilla filming and stuff, it had some technical errors in it, and I was like, well, maybe they sent it back for some technical errors and stuff. And then my older brother was like, shit, you crazy? This is hot right here. Average person looking at that, they don't know color grading and this and that, and they can't tell the difference from all that stuff, man. Well, screw them, man. They don't love your shit. Go out, release it, man. You can release it yourself nowadays. I said, yeah, release it. And if you don't release it, I'll jump on you, dog. And I was like, man. And I had an opportunity to even go up to BET. I was invited up to BET, and I went up to BET, man. And BET ain't what it used to be. Not what it used to be, man. And all the offices and stuff, man. It's not us in there. It's not us. And
wow, that's crazy.
I was shocked a little bit, because I'm like, okay, my people, so we could sit down and have a conversation about the film, and it didn't turn out to be that way, you know. And they told me, you know, if it was reversed, if it was more heavily focused on women, and the men being kind of like deadbeats and all that stuff, man, you know, if you focus on the fact that black men ain't educated and all that stuff, women are doing the thing, then you have something. But you know, you got black men being empowered. This is
wow. So they actually told you that?
Not in those words I just said, but I read between the lines. But they did, you know, if it was more focused on women, they say that it was more focused on women and showing women empowerment, then you know, you would have something. Then we could sit down, but you got to reverse. You got to reverse. Focus too much on men, and that was said to me. And you know, they turned the project down. So when they turned the project down, and I said, okay, this would be a long road to struggle, because now you're talking male empowerment. And especially black men, and they wasn't trying to hear that. Nobody wanted to hear that at that time, and I did it anyway. And even though I lost a lot of money, you know, being a filmmaker, you know, and at that time,
most time.
Yeah, I didn't know how the YouTube game worked, but when I saw, you know, I had 5 million views and stuff up there, and
that's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money on YouTube.
50 cents, $1, $1. Hit a brother with $1.50 for us film. You know, we would have been on chapter, like I said, we'd be on chapter 10, chapter 15 right now. Facts. And but what it did was, from when I see when it spawned, you know, travel groups now, brothers is traveling and stuff like that, and brothers are getting out and brothers are being empowered. At that time, you didn't have the whole manosphere. Manosphere wasn't up and running until Charles started doing Charles Tyler show based on the stuff, and then you started seeing brothers like O'Shea coming up. And the whole thing, all that stuff was forming and stuff, and brothers were being empowered. And sometimes in life, man, it works out that way. So what you lose financially, man, you gain in other areas in life. So the fact that, you know, most of the traveling brothers know me, know my name. I've been at the airport, man, and dudes run up to me and like, yo, you out Greeze. Oh, where you going, Greeze? Where you going, man? And you know, I'm on my way to the spot. They're like, yeah, man, good time, man, good time. And I remember coming back. I came back, and my brother lives in Atlanta. Still got connections in Atlanta, so I was stopping over in Atlanta. And I heard the two dudes in customs and stuff. They kept, yo, man, let me see some pics. Let me see some stuff, man. And I wasn't paying them no mind. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just kept standing waiting on my bags. And they, yo. So I got my bags, and I went to go through, and they was like, "You Greeze, right? You are Greeze, right?" I said, "Yeah. What's up, brother?" He said, "I know you just came back from the spot. We just wanted to see some flicks or something you had, man, before you got your bags and stuff." But I was like, "Yo, you got to get that on your own, dog. I got my own personal stash, but you can go out there, man, and get your own, man." And it was like, "All right, man, have a good flight." So the fact that I see the groups, BMT groups, a lot of other Passport Brothers, Heavy,
Yeah, man. Your film sparked a whole movement.
Yeah. So it's guys like yourself, man, that invite me onto your platform and talk. That members might not know who I am or know the role I played in it, but thanks to guys like you and having me on, and and now your guys are getting enlightened. Like, oh, that's the dude. Okay, we know that. Okay, that's the dude that put us all together.
So I want to piggyback off that, and I'm gonna catch you super chats in a minute, fellas. I really appreciate it. Now in 2022, things have changed. You got the manosphere, like you mentioned before. You have the rise of Kevin Samuels, rest in power to Kevin Samuels. Do you think that message is a little bit more receptive now than it was, let's say, a decade ago?
It is, man. And what I see now, I was on the Kosher Clinician show, and he had the young brother on there, Austin Howard, that was 23 now, traveling, getting younger and younger traveling, and the message is getting out. And they start seeing it at an early age and stuff, and dealing with masculine women that lack femininity and lacking the bond with, so they start traveling early. Now, my concern, because you got a lot of guys that, especially young cats, that want to do it on their own. This is a different generation, man. I do stuff on my own, and not having the know-with-all to understanding when you do travel like that, and if you're going to do it by yourself, you got to have a code of conduct.
Yes, sir.
You got to have a code of conduct, because when they see you abroad, they see black men.
All of us.
BMO. They don't see BMT. They don't see groups like they with that group. They see black men. They see black men, American black men. So from your travel experience, they'll show you love right off the cuff. American black men out. So you're gonna get shown some love, but you still gotta have a code of conduct. Gotta have some discipline. Some discipline, man, when you're traveling, because you represent more. You represent the whole movement, especially when you're traveling abroad to these spots. So that's one of my biggest concerns of having these young guys have some guidance and listening to older guys to show you to how to avoid a lot of pitfalls and a lot of mistakes, because you represent something bigger than yourself when you travel abroad.
Facts. That's real facts, man. Let me catch up to these super chats real quick. I got to shout out Jim Rat08 with a $9.99 super chats. I really appreciate that. He says, shout out to the bro Al Greeze. Watched Frustrated 3 last Monday. Awesome documentary. Guys, make sure to check out the documentary. It's pinned to the top of the comment section. It's also in the description. I got Ken Matinee. He's also a member with a $1.99 super sticker showing support. I really appreciate that, Ken. Appreciate you becoming a member as well. All right, I got James Dudley. We know who James is. Shout out to my dude, James Dudley. I haven't heard from you in a while, man. I hope everything is well with you. I believe is that the real? Is that the Reite? 110 Reite, maybe? Yes. Shout out to you, James. She said, shout out to the coach, Al Greeze. I was honored to have been part of this epic film. I didn't know, was James in the film? I didn't know James was in the film.
James is in the film, man. And he added, I was honored, man, that he decided that, he would tell the story. He did an excellent job, man. He did an excellent job, but he spoke from the position of law enforcement, retired police officer. So going through these interactions, man, you see guys dealing with these type of women and having to, by law, having to play one side of it, man, and trying to educate brothers and having them put stuff in trash bags and getting them removed off the property, removed out your house, removed out your apartment, because, you're dealing with these type of women. It really goes back into, we watched the film, dealing with masculine women and not valuing what a man is, a good man, and he having to play that role of having guys removed from the situation with threat of arrest. If you don't leave, I'm forced to, I don't want to do it, brother. And he would try to educate brothers along during that process, but he did an awesome job, man. He spoke from experience in some of the stuff that he dealt with in dealing in these domestic situations.
Okay. Yeah, we all know the brother with the trash bags. We already know what that looked like. Walking down the road, we already know his girl must have threw him out.
Yeah, man. And he spoke on that, man. He spoke from experience. It's not something he heard. And I hope guys take that to heart, man. Especially younger guys in their 20s, in the mid 20s, when you think you found the right chick and you try to do the right thing, and then she view you as being disposable. You no longer need it, and that's when they lean on the law side, like my man Chris said in the video. They feel more beholden to the government, and they call 911 on you quick, and he show up, man, and he put his hands on me. And he's not there to determine whether you did it or not. I have to remove you from the premise. And, you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes to collect whatever it is. And else I have to remove you.
And in the state of New York, is it like kind of like Georgia where somebody going to jail if they come out?
I stay away from dealing with the law. And, since I've been traveling, man, my relationships with females here are limited, very limited, very limited. So that aspect of it, if the police is called, somebody has to be removed. Somebody has to be removed. Now, my most experience with, during that time was in Atlanta, where, same thing. Somebody's called, somebody got to get removed. If she says you hit me, or he put his hands on me and she show a mark on her, now you got to go to jail and let the judge sort that out. And your boy, I had to go through that process, man. And they sent me to anger management class, all this shit, man. I'm like, what the hell? And they showing me videos of dudes come home drinking Budweiser because the food ain't ready. Right. Excuse me, you had a video when you minding your business and she attacked you, you sitting there trying to watch the game and you get attacked. Can I see that video, please? Like, well, we don't know because you showing this is slanted. Dude drinking Budweiser coming home. And nobody drinking Budweiser. I was in the house watching the game. Matter of fact, working on some hot wings and get attacked. I need to see that video. And fortunately they don't have that video. But Georgia's rough on it, man. And he touched me. Oh, come on, sir, let's go. We gotta go.
Shout out to Kim Madden. He said the guy is Jeff Friday. I knew it was Jeff something out there at the American Black Film Festival. Shout out to Larry Ray with $2 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He said just bought my copy, so shout out to him.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it, man.
And I got another guy who said he bought a copy too. I'm trying to find where is he at. Okay, I might have missed this comment, but shout out to him as well. Everybody saying BET now stands for Buffoonery Entertainment Television. Yeah, BET ain't what it used to be. It's not what it used to be for sure.
It's funny, crazy about it now. Most BET, MTV, and all that stuff don't show music videos anymore.
Remember back in the day with BMT Uncut back at night?
Yeah, BMT Uncut.
That was our jam right there. I had all the little raunchy music videos,
and all that other stuff, man. But you don't get that anymore, man. And like I said, a lot of us, especially, didn't realize we don't own that no more. You didn't own that.
A lot of people were disappointed in Bob Johnson for selling BET because I was like, man, that's the only thing. That's our media. That's the only thing that we had.
In business, when they come for you, they make you an offer you can't refuse. Now I read he started BET with like $35,000 or something like that. He had 30 grand, 40 grand. He started that up.
That journey, from what I heard, could be a movie in itself because I had a guy I worked with. They said Bob Johnson and his wife was at like some club up in New York or some bar up in New York raising money to start a channel. And he was asking people for just a couple $1,000s. And he was looking like, this is back in the 80s. He was like a black entertainment television. Man, ain't nobody gonna get that, But look how successful it became. He sold it for like $1 billion.
Well, they came for you, they make you an offer you can't refuse. Now, if you refuse this offer, it wouldn't surprise me, years later, something come, start slandering Bob Johnson's name. You know, he's associated with this BET, because they start attacking you, devaluing what you put together, and then take it from you for nothing. And that's just the art of that's the war of business. Business is a war, and, and they came in and you know, he made him an offer he couldn't refuse. But look what he started. He had Teen Summit. Remember, he had Teen Summit up there. They said the kids come on there, tell us stories and stuff. They had BET News. They had Black News. The stories that we were that affected us, that we wanted to watch. They had a lot of programs on there, and they had they had Rap City. They had all that stuff, man, and you know, they sold it, and you know, they took it over. Like I said, it don't look like us up there anymore, and they changed the whole programming.
True. Shout out to Rohan Edmondson with our super chat. I really appreciate that. He says Black Men United. Right, appreciate that. I got a couple of other super chats down here. Somebody said domestic violence situations, and you discussed that in the documentary as well. That it's just not the attitude of some of the Western women; it's the actual laws in place that can hurt relationships as well. The fact that they can pretty much end it, you know, they can end the contractual marriage, and they benefit from it. So if you've been married 5-10 years, we know a lot of brothers that's lost $250,000 houses behind divorces.
Yeah, well,
at no fault divorces.
I really tried to focus on that and Frustrated too, and showing the child support hustle, and doing the research to that. I didn't know under the Title 4D that the government was actually the states were actually getting matching funds from the federal government. So that's why the laws were so harsh, and that's why they were locking brothers up, especially in Georgia. Georgia, they would lock you up. You fell behind 1 month in child support, they will lock you up. Yeah, that's
they take your driver's license, and then you trying to go to work to pay, you know, to get back up, and then they lock you up. It's like a process of you just always being in the hole.
But if you told me I can get matching funds, whatever you get, whatever you can scrap up, I'll match you in them funds. And basically, it was help to keep women off of welfare, or to help with the cost of welfare for the states. So the government was matching funds. So of course you're gonna go to the maximum, you know, to get money from to get money and stuff, man. Even to the fact where, you know, you had guys paying for kids that wasn't theirs, and had no recourse. You had 1.6 million men in America that was paying for kids that wasn't theirs, and they didn't care. Somebody got to pay. She said
Somebody
did it. Pay. You didn't dispute it at that time, so it's on you. It's on you, man. And I try to educate brothers on that, man. Especially if you want to travel. A lot of brothers couldn't travel because they couldn't get passports because they owed child support. They owed child support and stuff. So I try to educate them on that, man. And you know, I had a good homie, man. He helped a lesbian couple conceive a child instead of telling them they go down to the sperm bank and leave me out of it. So he looked at it like, oh, I could have some fun. And 10 years later, he got hit with an $84,000 tab.
Hold on. Go back. Shout out to my dudes who travels, by the way, Barbarians at the Gate. Shout out to him. So he had a little lesbian couple that wanted a child, and he figured, hey, I'm gonna have some fun, have a little threesome, I guess, whatnot. And then they hit him with the bill down the line.
That's correct.
Wow.
And they stayed together for 10 years, and the one that was making the most, I guess, who proceeded as a man in the couple, whatever, she broke out. And the chick went down to social service looking for some aid, and they asked her, well, who's the father? And she said, well, me and they said, no, she couldn't have did that. Who did this?
Hold on. So all that identifying LGBTQ, you can be a man, all that goes out the window when the time comes.
Yeah. See, they playing house.
Yeah, they playing house.
Yeah, they playing house. But when it came down to it, who did that? And she gave his name up, and they called him. Like, you need to come down there. And he was like, what the hell you talking? I ain't seen the man. He hung up the phone. He didn't take it serious. Like, what the hell you talking? Hung up the phone, and next day they came knocking on the door. They locked him up. They came in and locked him up. Judge told him, hey man, you owe me $84,000. We tallied it up. You owe me 84 grand. You got my 84 grand? He was like, what? Hang on. They locked him up. Locked him up for what they call it, failed to adhere to the judge acknowledgments of the judges. So they gave him, I think, 90 days. And then 90 days, he lost his job, lost his apartment. His mother called me And she was like, yo, he's in trouble. I need to go get him a lawyer, get some money. I was like, no, that's not how you're going to do that. What you're going to have to do is wait till you see the judge in 90 days, take that money that you're going to give to the lawyer, because he's going to blow that money. He's going to blow that money. Tell the judge he owe 84 grand. How much, how much money are you working with? She said, well, I got about 15 grand. Tell him you're going to put that 15 grand on it. Put that 15 grand on the 84, and you're going to start the payments. And she did that, and the judge released him. And, middle-aged dude got an $84,000 tab. And he lost his job, had to try to fight to get his job back. But can you imagine looking at retirement and putting stuff together, and you get hit with an $84,000 bill? Plus continued child support for the kid too. So he's paying like $300 something for the kid, plus the $84,000 in arrears.
That's amazing, man. That's crazy. Shout out to Big Ben with $2 super chat. He said, shout out to Al Greeze. Been rocking with Al Greeze for about 10 years. Rest in power to our dear brother, Charles Tyler. Shout out to you, Big Ben. I appreciate that. We got my dude in here, Andre from Love Crossing Borders. He says, just watch 1, 2, and 3 a few times this week. Frustrated 2 is a must-see. Shout out to Andre from Andre.
Shout out to Andre, man. Hey, Andre, I need to catch up with you, man, and need to chop it up, man.
Andre's a good dude, man. Andre's a good dude. He'll put you on.
I was on the show with him on Kosher Show, Kosher Collision Show. And I'm looking to chat out with him, man. I want to chop it up with him.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Andre. I got another one. Let me see.
He said he watched it a few times this week.
It's a good series, man. It really is a good series.
Frustrated too, man. I got frustrated too. Got embraced by a lot of women, and it got embraced by a lot of women because when dudes fall short, it's the moms that come back and try to bail them out. Come back and trying to help them. So women started realizing that tab fall on them, especially when they know their son are innocent of it, or see their son doing right and get hit with this and try to keep their son's function. So they come out the pocket.
Oh, so it's the moms of the men that get put on these child support.
Yeah.
That's really
okay. They came in and tried to bail them out and keep them above water. They feel like a lot of it's unjust, and then the women start withholding the kids from them. They can't see the grandkids. One of the saddest stories, man, the brother told in the film that he during graduation, his daughter graduating from middle school to high school. And the mother told him he can't come, and he had to go beg the principal, to see his daughter walk across the stage, man. And the principal told him he had to stand in the back. He had to stand in the back by the doors and don't make no noise. And, I'll look out for you, man. But, you got to stand in the back, man. He had to stand in the back and see his daughter. The daughter didn't acknowledge, couldn't see him if he was there or not. And, but he saw his daughter, and then, he had some guards by him. And after that, man, he saw his daughter walk across the stage. They escorted him out the building. He had to leave. That's some hurtful stuff, man.
Yeah, women can be vengeful, man. They can be vengeful. They'll sacrifice the upbringing and the happiness of their own child just to get back at you. Unfortunately,
once they find out you moved on and found somebody else that has no spirit like a woman scorn, they coming, man, and they use your kid. They put your kid right in the middle of it.
They sure do. Shout out to Raymond Former with the Forum D with the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, I love the first 2 documentaries. Can't wait to see the third. Guys, once again, the link is in the top of the comment section and the description. Make sure you check it out. All right. We got our dude in here, the Kosher Clinician with the $10 super chat. Shout out to Kosher, man. We hung out there in Brazil. He says, shout out to Greeze and BMT. Shout out to Kosher, man.
Kosher, man.
Kosher breaks it down. He breaks it down, man. He breaks it down.
Listen, Coach is a smart, bright individual, man, and he breaks it down from a different perspective from his background, and I think that's what's needed, man, because he's professional therapist, and he breaks it down from there, man. So he has a lot of value to Frustrated 3 from the knowledge he was breaking down, man. So I was fortunate to have him, man. Good brother, hung out with him a couple of times, did my best to show him some love, man. He flew. I had the private viewing here in New York City. But for my BMO fam and stuff, man, and he flew in from North Carolina, stayed up, got him a hotel, all that stuff to come down, man, to support. So shout out to him, man. He's like, another big brother I got, man. So good dude.
Shout out to Kosher, man. Shout out to Kosher. Like I say, he breaks it down. If you guys haven't joined his channel or sub to his channel, make sure you sub to his channel as well. He has a really good channel. Like I say, nobody breaks it down like him. All right, we got Andre again with a 10,000 Colombian peso. Appreciate that, Andre. He says, I don't even have children, and I was on an emotional roller coaster watching Frustrated 2. Wow, that's a big one, man. People seem to be a big fan of Frustrated 2.
Yeah, man. It broke down a lot of information, man. It's very informative, and you know, I just brought the facts to it. This is what if you decide to have children here, you're gonna have kids here. This is what you're gonna have to deal with. This is what you're facing, and a lot of them, you know, they would ask me, you know, how can I avoid some of this stuff? Best advice I can give you is best way to avoid that system is to stay out of it. Stay out of that system, man, and travel and go abroad. So, you know, looking at, for instance, the child support system in Brazil. Brazil child support is based on the female's income, not yours. Not yours. They let men live. They let men live there. Still a patriarchal society there, so they let men live. And here, you can't. You ain't gonna live. So that's important, man. It's important. And so, you know, just the information there alone, man. And I started seeing a resurgence of Frustrated 2. From Frustrated 3 came out, so a lot of guys were going on my website and checking out Frustrated 2 and appreciate that information.
Isn't it a beautiful thing now that we have, you know, the internet, and you can kind of sell your own movie? You don't got to work with distributors, and you know they take in like what 80% of the profit and all that good stuff. Or you're not even seeing your numbers because they're gonna say we didn't recoup the marketing for it. So isn't it a beautiful thing that now you can just sell it on your own?
It's beautiful, man, because it keeps guys productive. And I'm all about being productive. And in the beginning, when I first was doing, you know, handing out scripts and trying to get the okay for it, and you know, getting told no. And I'm not one of them dudes you can just tell me no and I sit back and just take that. No, there's another way. You might not want to fool with me, man. So once things turn digital and once again, like you said, technology took off. I can make my own. I had somebody come up to me and was like, yo, I got a hookup for you, man. I can get your stuff on Amazon. You can take it over to Amazon. So I did the research on Amazon what Amazon want. Why would I go there? Why would I go there? I still got to put the same work in when I can put it on Vimeo myself, go out there, and what YouTube has done, and the whole manosphere and guys like yourself, Kosher, Beautiful Lies, all these shows there, these are like TV shows cats watch right now. They don't watch regular traditional TV anymore.
That's right.
They don't watch traditional TV anymore. So all I got to do is I have connections with these guys already. So come on their platform, talk about the film and so on. And why I got to go there and give them 60%, 50, 60%? Like you said, they'll skew the numbers. And then they told me when you don't get the numbers up high enough, with people watching, I can kick you off. I kick you off, you know, because you just holding up space. I create my own space. I can do my own website. I can sell my own product. I can sell my own product.
Facts. Shout out to Beautiful Lives for tuning out Super Chat, man. Very dope channel. Shout out to you, bro. We got to do a collab one day. He says, salute family. I see you, Greeze, El Guapo. He was in the documentary as well, right?
Well, listen, El Guapo dropped some gems.
He really did, yeah. He got that voice. He got that voice inflection too. We know as a filmmaker, that's very important. He got that Sam Jackson voice. Not Sam Jackson, Morgan Freeman type voice.
No, he got more of a radio kind of like
radio.
Slow jams late at night. The love jams come on.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. That's what I meant. Yeah, something like you definitely got that voice though.
Yeah, because when I first time I met him, Kosher introduced me to him in Brazil. We was out.
Oh, was he at the meetup?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't there. He wasn't there. He was, you know. I met him out there, and I heard that voice. He was like, "Hey, how Greeze?" I was like, "What? Oh, man, I got to have this dude.
Hey, they say you got the Donnie Simpson voice.
Yeah, a little deeper, man. But it's silky. It's smooth. You watch him talk, man. And he's a world seasoned traveler, seasoned brother, man, and with him, all I had to do was just turn the camera on, and Guapo did his thing. He did his thing, man. He was a treasure to have in there, man. And I'm fortunate to have him, man. And you know, blessings, man. I thank him for that because, you know, he knows what he's talking about. He's been around the block. He's been a few places, man. So, you know, he speaks from a point of truth. And that's when it's hard to dispute this stuff when somebody's speaking from a point of truth. You know,
he made a point in the trailer. He was like, they don't know how much competition it really is out here, right? Like, I don't think women don't understand, because the dirt we get is, oh, y'all going overseas to get them light complected women, not knowing that Brazil is mostly black. We going to Brazil to get other Afro type women, right? So the competition is stiff.
And some reason this what frustrates me, because a lot of even men here and women don't understand the connection that we're not the only black people. It's not just in Africa and in America. That we're not. And you look at Brazil and the slave trade that they went through, and how many, because they call themselves Afro-Brazilians, how many Africans are over there as well. And you go to Colombia, a lot of brothers over there in Colombia, and a lot of blacks over there in Cali, Colombia. We're all over the diaspora. So we're not just in America. We're not just here. And you can go over and meet African women in different culture settings and have a better outcome.
I tell brothers all the time, you know, and we're not generalizing all the women in the North. Let's put that preference. We know some good women in North America as well. But I tell them, man, when you go to South America, you go to Colombia, especially in Colombia, and you dealing with relationships with Afro women, it'll make you fall in love again, because you're seeing that they're much different than the women in the North.
They're feminine.
They're very extremely feminine, man. It's like how your grandma was. My great grandma was like 90 something years old, man, 90 some years old, but she would get up every day for my great grandfather and cook a full course meal 3 times a day, even though when we said that she didn't have to. We're like, Grandma, you can barely walk. But that's the type of women that men want to go back to.
When you see you got somebody down for you like that, and you in turn down for them. When you know a woman got your back like that, same thing. I've never seen my grandfather. Most I've seen him do make a cup of coffee that he wanted to make.
Facts.
And my pops too. And these guys were productive. They worked every day, came home, took care of the household. My pops worked every day, came home, took care of his household. My mother would have his breakfast set aside for him. She cook our food, his lunch, go to work, all that stuff, clothes, everything taken care of, and feminine women, man, and hugs and kisses all the time. My grandma, every time she see me, if she cooked, I'm eating, she kiss you on the head, glad to see you, show you, always showing affection. And culture broke this down, man. That's what men is missing today. You're not dealing with feminine women, you're dealing with masculine women. And a lot of us don't know how to deal with that. They're coming from generations of seeing women a certain way. Dealing with feminine women now, when it comes to your time, you got to deal with masculine women. And when you go travel and you see these feminine women, beautiful, so sweet, you know, when you go to Brazil, they like to kiss you on the cheek, they like to touch you, they grab your arm, they touch you, relax you. Like, man, because what make a man go over there and fall in love in 2 days, 3 days? Ready to risk it all. He tell you, like my man said in All Nice, call your mama, put your mama on the phone. I ain't never coming home. I'm never coming home. You know what? I share a story with you, man. This was crazy. It was one of the times I went to Brazil. I came back from Brazil to New York, and I had my big sister, pick me up from the airport. And my sister's community, she owned a health food store, so she was educating people on health products, what to buy for certain ailments that you may have, and she had all the roots, all that stuff. So she was big in the community. They would always come up to her. And my sister picked me up, and we went to Target. We was in the Target. My sister said, I got to stop at Target. And she ran across one of her girlfriends there, shoppers, one of her customers there. And she was like, oh, this is my brother. They were like, hey, nice to meet you. She said, oh, he got all that sun. Where did you get all that sun from? She said, oh, he just came back from Brazil. And the lady started laughing. And my sister said, you know, what's what's going on? She said, well, you know, I can't remember her name, such and such. She said, yeah. She said, well, you know, her and her husband and the other couple went to Brazil for Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Said, oh, no. She said, yeah, they went to Carnival. And 3 days in the trip, the two husbands disappeared. Disappeared. They disappeared, came back when it was time to leave. We came back when it was time to leave. Came back, they got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them got divorced. After the divorce was over, they split up. Them two left, went back to Brazil. Back to Brazil.
Right.
And I said, I could believe it. I could believe it happened. But I heard she's like, man, they left their wives out there. Left their wives in the hotel and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't come back, didn't show up till it was time to go. Till it was time to go back and they fought all the way back, got divorced, and them two homeboys looked at each other, we're going back, and went back to Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that, you know, as far as the couples, you know, when they do travel to places like Colombia and Brazil, do you think that's going to help the relationship being out of the States, or it's going to kind of damper the relationship even worse?
Well, it depends. It depends on where you stay at. But if you're gonna get immersed into the culture there, it's gonna hurt. In my opinion, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt because he's gonna start looking and seeing how. Because you were there, you can feel that feminine energy. You can feel it. I feel it when I land in the plane, man. In the airport workers, the female workers are so feminine. They look feminine. They dress feminine. And when you get off the plane, you feel it. My blood pressure drops. My blood pressure drops automatic. Blood pressure go down.
When the women speak that Brazilian Portuguese, it's the most beautiful sounding language in the world, man. It will soothe your mind. It'll just relax you. Like you said, your blood pressure will go down. You don't even know exactly what they're saying, but you can feel what they're saying.
It sounds so.
The way they sound. It's the most beautiful language in the world, hands down. Sometimes I should tell my female I was dating at the time. I say, just talk. Just say anything. Just tell me about your day. I don't understand it all, but just tell me about your day.
I would go to the coffee shops. This is how bad it was. I would go to the coffee shops, because they got the little coffee shops that you can sit out on the curb and listen to the women talk and sit there and you hear the way they speak, man. You go, oh my goodness. Oh man, just speak, man. Just speak.
Just talk. Yeah. Shout out to Traveling Black Man 01. He says, so you can only rent Frustrated 2. Can you give us a breakdown on how you have the Frustrated distributed?
Well, right now, I only have it available online because I'm trying to keep it under control and stop my stuff from being uploaded and not recouping, man. Because you understand this as being an independent filmmaker. All those films, I financed all those films myself. And I have to protect it now because of what happened with Frustrated 1. But in November, because I have a high demand for it, and I'm going to be releasing the box set, Frustrated 1, 2, and 3, and offering signed copies. People want me to sign copies of it. I'll do all that, so that will be available in November, and in the first week of November, because I know a lot of cats want to give it out for gifts to their kids and sons. I get a lot of requests for that, man. I want my kids are young; they may not understand this now, but I want to keep this in my library so they can come back and retrieve this information, man. And so any way I can get this on DVD and stuff. So in November, I'm going to be releasing each one individually, but I'm also going to put a box set together where they can have Frustrated 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, excellent. So we got the Black Cleaner. Oh, go ahead.
Just stay tuned on greezefilms.com. Just check on the website, and I'll broadcast that out as well. So, but coming November, that will be available.
Okay, excellent. Shout out to the Black Cleaner / Restore with the 5 super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, just wrote a book about finding romance abroad, now on Amazon. I want to convert to a screenplay. Any pointers?
Well, we're getting to a different conversation now. So you go.
Yeah. That's the big one right there. You try to sneak one in for the 5, but appreciate it though, bro.
I appreciate that's a different conversation, but I'm willing to have that conversation, man. Just just hit me up, DM me, and we can have that conversation. I'll give you some pointers on how to convert it. Yeah, that's DM me, man, and I'll give you some pointers. But that's getting into a different conversation. Now you're talking about my skill set.
All right, shout out to Osuma Abdul Defile Super Chat. He says, Greeze have a cash out. Frustrated 3 is worth more than $16. I want to also pay, I guess that's reparations for watching the bootleg copy for the first one. I gotta pay reparations too, bro. It was on YouTube. It was on YouTube.
Listen,
and it was being shared amongst black men. That's the thing. That's why I got so many views, because I think somebody sent it to me. I say, okay, what's this right here? So
listen, brother. That's $ Greeze 12. That's the cash app. $.
Let me put that in there. Hold on, let me put that in there. $ Greeze 12. Make sure this is the right one. Hold on.
You know what? I need to put that out. Man.
Is that it right there?
Capital G, but I don't know if that'll affect it or not. But
I'll do it again, no problem. Yeah, man, you changing lives, man. Brothers want to support.
Yeah,
let me ask you this: Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. I don't. Listen, what you guys do, that takes a lot of work. That's a lot of cats don't realize that, but that takes a lot of work. I'm going to be doing YouTube on BMO Radio, YouTube channel. I'm associated with BMO Radio, man. Them guys showed me a lot of support, going way back into Charles Tyler when he brought me into BMO. Asked me, showed me what he put together and be a part of it. So to keep his legacy going, I'm going to be doing the BMO Radio. We're gonna have that up on the Black Man's Options YouTube page. I'm the coach there, so I'm if you're looking for me, I'll be on there. I'll be on BMO Radio and BMO YouTube page. So guys, go sub to that, and you can catch me on there. I think every Thursday. We're doing a show every Thursday, man, with the other brothers on the shows and provide great information.
Okay, excellent. So, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Al Greeze is a filmmaker, so he's a busy man. But before we go, I want to ask you, tell us some of your experiences with Charles Tyler and how he saw the film and he reached out to you.
Charles was relentless, man, in reaching out to me. And at the beginning, when he saw the film and the film had an impact on him. And he went to Brazil, and he looked up John Thompson. And John Thompson was the one that reached out to me. It was like, "Hey, man, this guy is looking for you. This guy's looking for you." I'm like, "What guy looking for me? Who the hell looking for me?" And he was like, "Charles is looking for you." "Who the hell is Charles? I don't know no Charles." And he was like, "There's a guy, Charles, man. He want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Well, at this time, man, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding because my work is being stolen from me, and I don't have time, to entertain somebody looking for me. I don't know who this Charles is." And Charles he wouldn't stop, man. He was relentless. John hit me up again, and he was like, "Please," I said, "Listen, give the dude my number. Just give him my number. Tell him to call me. I'll speak with him." And he called me, and he was like, "How you doing? I'm sorry to bother you, man. I just want to know if you can do my show." And I was like, "Well, go to my publicist. She'll book you. She'll go." He was like, "No, I have you on the phone, man. It's going to be Thursday." He wrote down the time. He told me the time. If you can make it, come on my show. I really appreciate it. And if you can make my show. So when that Thursday came, I think he did the show 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or whatever. And I said, "Well, let me call the brother. Let me call him." So I called him and said, "Listen, I'll do your show, man. Don't worry." And it was one of the best decisions I made, man, because I came on his show. We talked for about maybe 5 minutes. He introduced me. "Guys, you won't believe who I have on here today. I found the man. I got the man. Let's go." And we talked for about 5 minutes. And he said, "Listen, I don't mean to cut this short, but the phone lines is lit up. I got guys that want to speak to you." And I started taking calls. And what I didn't know at the time was that was my audience. That was my audience. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know there was a group of men who watched the product, was impacted by the products, and they were all out there. And I didn't know that. I had no idea. I was blown away. And what he did for me, man, he helped me heal I stopped worrying about what I lost and started looking at what I gained. I didn't know I had a whole group of men that were impacted by my work, and they were all together. And then he said, listen, I have this group called BMO, Black Man's Option. I would love for you to come and be a part of this. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to be a part of this. This is something I want to be a part of, man. I like I see you guys all together, man. Yeah, I want to be a part of this. And he was like, well, you know, we do annual, I do a beach week out in Brazil. I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, I'm down. And unfortunately for me, I went there and I saw, you know, we went out there together, man. And when I was out there, I wanted to get some B-roll, some more footage. So I was running around filming, and I was trying to film the beach week stuff. And they had some other stuff going on. They had some conflicts with, and kind of threw me off a little bit because I thought we, you know, had set up schedule and stuff and threw it off a little bit. So he thought I was angry at him, and I wasn't. I just said, no, man, you know, what's going on? He was like, I'm sorry, man. I said, you know what, Charles? No, I hear you on your radio show and stuff, but no one ever seen you do a show live here in Brazil. He was like, no, I was like, well, shit, let's do it. And he was like, man, put a chair here. You got me, you got the young boys, you got the guys that you brought out here. Let them speak. And I filmed it without knowing that would be the last time that he would actually do the Charles Tyler show. And I didn't know that, man. And I filmed it, and I shared it with the group members. I just gave that here, man. This is Charles. He would want y'all to see his last show. And I met with him at Mia Pataka. You familiar with Mia Pataka?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, a little restaurant out there. It was a hot spot back in the days, but being the owner became real cool because he let me film Frustrated One inside Mia Pataka. So you see the restaurant scene, that's Mia Pataka. He let me film in there. And I was over there with him, man. We was drinking a Guaraná. And I was like, yo, man, when I get back, man, we could work on some things and make it bigger. You know, just put minds together. We can make it bigger, man. Filming, you can do this, you can do a lot of stuff, make it bigger. And he was like, all right, man. And when I got back home, I went on social media and I saw the rest in peace. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about? And I was like, I just left dude. I just left him and caught a flight. I just left him, man. And I hit one of the brothers. I said, yo, y'all should stop doing that. You shouldn't joke like that, man. And they was like, nah, Greeze, is for real, man. I'm like, it ain't for real. I just left him. I just saw him. And they was like, nah, man. So I called up Johnny Johnson. I said, Johnny, man, they saying Charles is passed, man. Can you get a line on him for me? And you know, Johnny lived out there for a while. So Johnny got mad connections and he speaks fluent Portuguese. And he called me back, man. He was like, nah, he ain't gone, but you know, he's in bad shape. He's in bad shape, man. I was like, what happened to him? And he told me what happened to him. And, you know, he didn't make it after that, man. So, but we here, BMO still here, keeping his vision going, man. Great brothers from Eric. I know you know Eric. Shout out to E. Shout out to E. Shout out to Ralphie. Shout out to Gerald. Shout out to Chaz. Shout out to Steve Brown. Shout out to the whole admin team. These guys is keeping his vision going. They're keeping it going, man. And yeah, they're keeping it going. Every year they put stuff together for him, and so we don't forget. We don't forget Charles. Because Charles, his impact, mine may have been Frustrated One, but his impact in putting the group together, or putting BMO together and doing his shows impacted the other brothers to follow suit, to do the same. And you start seeing the whole manosphere starting to form and stuff. And if you ask, you know, some of the guys, they'll tell you they watched some of Charles's video, and then they went to put their stuff together too. So his impact is big as well.
Yeah, it was surreal, man, watching Charles' YouTube channel, and then Raphael going out there taking me to Baja Juca, and I'm like, yeah, this was on Charles. I remember Charles doing the interview here. It was just surreal, man.
Yeah, because he had plans on moving to Baja. He was in transition to doing so, man, because his YouTube channel was doing very well, and he was able to get content from out there in Brazil, being out in Brazil, because a lot of guys supported Charles. And what he was doing, because he was waking brothers up too, man, and showing them a better life, a better way and stuff, man. So he had an impact on guys, so he was getting major support. So he was able to start to transition to moving out there. I met him after we did the phone interview and stuff, man. I drove to Philly. He was from Philly. I drove out to Philly, man, and we sat down, man. I did a show from his house with him, met his parents, met his brother, his sister. And he was that kind of guy, man. Until he took me to go get some cheesesteak, man, from Geno's, man, and we got the fighting in there. Man, this ain't no cheesesteak. I need the real joy. Man. You bring me out to Philly. This got to be something special because I never had one. I don't eat this. I don't eat this shit, man. I want real Philly. And then we found that other spot, man. It was sad, I went to a service. Man. A lot of brothers after the service, we found somebody took us over. I think it's Walters, Scotty's and Walters steakhouse out there in Philly, man. That they put it down. This is what I was looking for, man. But he's still a treasure, man. Charles is still a treasure. We won't let him. The brothers in the group just won't let him go away like that, man. So we keep him relevant, man. And he's still a part of us. He's still here with us.
Okay, and last question before we go, and I'm gonna catch. You got a lot of cash apps coming in too, by the way. I see it in the comment section.
Reparations, baby. Get the reparations.
Yeah, get reparations. But
I'm going on the reparations talk, man, because the brother who came up with that, man, I appreciate him. I got to put a reparations tour out. Everybody that see frustrated, I come and collect reparations. Here's a cash app, whatever it is. So we can get these chapters up, man. We on chapter 3. We could be chapter 4, 5, 6. Because I love doing this, man. I love empowering men, man, and I love to hear the response, especially now guys are saying, I want to get this to my kids. My kids need to watch it. I got 2 teenage boys. I've been frustrated 1, 2, and 3, made them watch it. And they say I'm happily married, but my kids, seeing the way the culture is going here, man, that have the same success I'm going to have in relationships. So they need to know and not be afraid to travel abroad and getting their kids prepared at an early age, getting passports for them at an early age and getting them out there traveling abroad.
Exactly. And how does it feel for, I guess, the world to kind of catch up to you? Because you was on this decade ago, man, and I know it was very unpopular then, but now, like I said, it's getting more popular opinion that things need to change. Dating has gotten way too frustrated in the States. How does it feel to be like, see now y'all peeping game? I was telling you this decade ago.
I'm not that. You know me. We met, man. We chopped it up. I'm a humble guy. I'm a level-headed guy. I'm a humble guy. My head is big physically, but I don't have I don't have the big head. It's not like that, but it is big though. But nothing I can do about it genetically, man. But I don't have the other way around, man. I'm a humble guy, man. So when I hear that the message is getting out, it gives me a sense of hope. It's a sense of hope for men in general, especially black men. And at the end of the day, man, that's what I'm about. That's who I am, and that's who I'm for. So that the message is getting out, man. As long as the message get out, whether it come from me, BMO, BMT, Beautiful Lies, Kosher, whoever's spewing, as long as the brothers get the message, man, and they can get out and get safe and be happy. I get more joy seeing brothers happy. Seeing happy. You probably could tell from your experience, man, I had brothers cry. And we were out and about in different places, man. Seeing brothers just look at me and start crying. I'm like, yo, what's the matter, man? They're like, yo, I didn't know this existed, man. I found peace. I found happiness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, man, for showing, we can come out here and have a good time. So at the end of the day, man, I like seeing brothers happy, man. I like to see brothers at peace. I like seeing brothers at peace. So if you can't get it from me, they can get it from you, or they can get it from any other YouTuber or whoever's, promoting this narrative. At the end of the day, man, I just want to see brothers happy, man. I just want to see brothers succeed in life and not get caught up in back here in the States, man, with this nonsense, man, and can't find happiness, can't find any affection, can't find appreciation, and they can find it elsewhere, man. So at the end of the day, I'm happy for that. And if I get acknowledgement for it, a small piece of credit for it, man, I'm truly appreciative, man. But at the end of the day, it's about seeing black men succeed and empowering them and seeing them happy, man. Seeing them. That's it for me, man. So
that's all facts, man. All facts, guys. The Cash App is right there on the screen. $ Greeze 12. Show your support. I know you guys have seen Frustrated 1 and 2, all on YouTube. Also, man, filmmaking is a very powerful tool. And the fact that this brother went to BET and they wanted him to switch it around, he probably could have got paid a lot of money for switching it around and being frustrated on the black woman side, right? You know what I'm saying? You would have got paid. He probably got millions. But He's loyal to the movement. He's showing, guys a different route, different way to be progressive. And he came up with a solution, man. I peeped it a long time ago when I first saw the documentary film and I joined Charles Tyler Group. I was like, okay, he got an actual solution, because for a minute you got, guys just kind of running in circles, just complaining on YouTube for 8-hour streams at a time. But he was like, no, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna actually find a solution and we're gonna travel. Let me catch these super chats, man. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Shout out to Raymond Form. He says, this is for Greeze. I bootleg 1 and 2. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna forward that to you on the Cash App myself.
All is forgiven.
All right. He says, Traveling Black Man 01 says, I just sent Greeze $50 for reparations. All right. So we got one right there. We got Osama Abdul. He just said, I just sent $25 for the Cash App for watching a bootleg of part 1. At least that's the least I could do. All right. You say guilty. Watch part 1 about 10 times for free. Just sent you a Cash App. Shout out to KB. Said, thanks, Aaron, for updating, bro. All Cash App info. Search everywhere to donate. So guys were trying to donate. He said, I wanted to have my bookkeeper write a check, but I was settled for a Cash App. All right. We got Traveling Black Man once again with 01s with the $4.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, Greeze, you to release the films on streaming. I don't own a DVD player, but it's all streaming right now. You don't have
on streaming. Right? When you go to the website right now, it's all on streaming on Vimeo. So you could you go to Greeze Film, they have Frustrated 1, 2, 3 with the trailers, and just whatever one you want to watch, you just click it, and it'll take you right to where you can stream it.
Okay, all right. Shout out to KB with $10 Super J. Says, thanks much. All right. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. I got another one, Eric Powell. Shout out to my dude, Eric Powell, with the $5 Super Chat. Really appreciate that. Al, I bought and watched the video over the weekend. It was very well made. Looking forward to your next project. Now, let me ask you this before you go. Do you plan on doing any type of Kickstarter campaign to maybe raise funds for the next one? I believe guys will donate. They want to keep it going.
Well, yeah, I'll take that option up, man, if it's there. But I like to be productive, man, and I like to keep going, man. And I welcome all support. I welcome all support to come in to keep the movement moving, to keep the movement going, and don't have to have those laps and until I get the money up and do it, man. So I welcome all that, man. And the quicker we can get response and get the money up, because the projects. The biggest part of the budget is I don't pay myself. I don't pay myself writing, producing, going filming. I don't do all that stuff. So the budgets are not huge. It's not huge. It's not a huge budget. Most of the budget eats up in traveling, and the guys that I bring with me, because filming is not a one man. It's not a one man team. It's not like I use a cell phone. It go right. So I make sure whenever you film, in the filming business, you pay for people's time. So I have to book them up. I need you for a month. I need you for this. I need you for that. And so that's the biggest expense, man. But we can talk, man, and I'll put one together. And this is the budget. We can raise it, man, and we can go on to Frustrated Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6. We keep this thing going.
And I will assist too. If you need any help promoting the Kickstarter campaign, we can do it on my channel and the Facebook groups, man. I will assist, because guys, should donate and put up, because we want to keep this message out there. You want to keep updating. I know you got to get new cameras and all that good stuff to kind of keep up with the flow of technology. Because, guys think they filmmakers now. They put that little iPhone out. Now everybody a filmmaker. So we want to keep that professionalism going. The sound be terrible, but they,
See, that makes the film. And the sound, you need sound. If the sound ain't right, then you got a bad project. I don't care how well it's lit. You got to make sure it's lit too. Make sure it's lit right. Make sure it's shot right. But if you got bad sound on it, you don't have nothing. So I see guys with that, just want to put the phone down. That's good for, Facebook showing clips and stuff like that. But when you want to put something together, if it's not lit and it doesn't sound good, then you're basically gonna have a bad product, man. But like somebody told me, man, the guy, when it comes down to this, man, there's not too many black filmmakers, black men filmmakers telling stories from a black man's perspective.
Put a point on that. Heterosexual black men filmmakers. They out here. They out here. We all know.
It's still not from from a heterosexual black man.
You go to some of them parties after them film festivals, man.
Yeah, so and sooner or later, as we continue to grow, it's going to reach certain levels where other people are going to start paying attention to it as it continues to grow. And that's why I emphasize, man, when you travel, still we got to have a code of conduct. Got to have a code of conduct, because if one person messes up, they're going to tear down. They're going to try to tear down the whole movement. You're going to try to tear down the whole movement and say, "See, this is what everybody's about," and that's not the case. So salute to the young guys and stuff traveling, man. Reach out to BMT, reach out to BMO, reach out to the guys that's been there and been to these spots that can educate you, so you can have a good, safe, sound trip and make it back safe. Because a lot of us, we travel with the mentality, especially when you're young. I was on that. I was young too, man. And, I'm from the United States. You can't tell me this. You can't. They can, and they will. And you can check out an old girl out, Brittany Green, is still locked up in Russia for just trying to squeeze some weed over, trying to squeeze some weed over. So don't laugh. Learn. You can learn from that.
Facts.
Yeah, you can learn from that. You can learn from other people's experience when you travel. Everybody's not as tolerant as America when it comes to certain issues. Not as tolerant and stuff, man. Like you over there, man. You no vape smoking. You can't smoke vape. You can't criticize the government out loud. You can't criticize the government. A lot of stuff you can't do that you can find yourself in situations. So please, man, when you travel, make sure you have that code of conduct, man, and join these groups, man. Join BMO, join BMT, join whatever you feel comfortable at. Get some information. Yeah, man.
Because it could be a lifesaver. They just did. I think it was in Iran, somewhere in the Middle East, where they just sentenced 2 lesbians to death. All right, for basically having an ongoing lesbian relationship. So it gets serious overseas. You definitely want to be familiar with the laws of the land. Shout out to Blazer the 5 Super Chases. When dude said she put a straw in my drink, I felt that. Salute Al Greeze and BMT. I got another good question before we go by Osama Abdul with $2 Super Chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, Greeze, would you do a fiction film? We will support. What you think about that, man? I could be the lead. I could be the leading star, man. I could be the lead actor.
I thought,
hey, let's bring bald head dudes back in, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, you ain't quite bald, but let's bring the ball back in.
I thought about it. But like right now, I like doing these projects because I can handle the budget, even though if I have to save up and stuff to handle the budget, to do the budget. But I'm open to that, man, and we can get together. I write too, a real creative man. We can put something together, and we can come up with the budget to get it done. I'm all for it. It's just, if I can't complete a project and I know I can't complete it, I won't start the process of soliciting funds, knowing that it can't be completed. So that's.
Hey, I can see the movie now. Man goes to Brazil, right, and then becomes I guess get caught up in the favela or something. Has to be an action star.
I got something better than that. I got something better than that. I got something better than that. I got one, man. I got some.
Well, let me ask you this: would you, if you did do a film, would it be in America or would it be in Brazil?
It'll be in both.
Okay.
Be in both. I have to try. I like to tie in the cultures. You see, the problem is in the cultures and what they promote back here in the States and what they promote. So I would show both. I have to show both. I have to show a little bit in Brazil. I have to show probably majority. The film that I have in mind would be majority in America, but show some in Brazil and show the impact that it had. And
okay, what genre would it be in?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
What genre would it be in? Would it be action, romance?
No, it'd be drama.
It'd be drama. Okay. Would it be any gunplay in it at all? I can do it, dog.
Listen, you
I've been taking Muay Thai classes, man. I can do it.
We're gonna have to chop it up. Like I said, I don't know who's listening. I don't want nobody.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you know how the universe works. Somebody be in here, they be like, "Oh, are you gonna make a movie? Let me type something up."
Yeah. So I don't listen. I don't give out the secret sauce. Never give out the secret sauce. But that's something we can talk. We can talk behind the scenes. But it's going to be some drama, some action. I got to put a little bit in it. Put a little bit. Make like a nice gumbo. You know what I mean? A little action, a little drama, a little this, a little romance. You got to have all that in there.
Okay. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and show we're gonna show the trailer once again real quick before we go, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. Here we go. You put this up.
When you date a woman and she may be a potential wife, it's a competition thing all the way. I can't take it no more.
They feel propped up because they feel more beholden to the government. And then their man comes second. That's why they figure that they're strong, independent, don't need no man because they have the government.
Because the men are failing us, to be honest. Guys thinking about themselves and they'll think about you after you react.
You don't hear anything about being good wives and all this other stuff. What you hear is you strong and you independent. You can do it on your own. You got black girl magic, black girl walk, but you ain't said nothing about black family.
My mother is like what they consider to be the strong black woman. I feel like I projected that onto the guys that I dated.
Ladies have no idea how stiff their competition really is. You have no clue how black men are viewed in the rest of the world. We are the #1 most sexually desired man on the face of this planet.
They would call Jesus Dusty if he was here living in America because of the gross narcissism that a lot of our women have.
Man, that part right there, they call Jesus Dusty, had me rolling every time, man. All right, man. Once again, Al Greeze, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Appreciate you spending time with us, man. I know you're a busy man, so appreciate it.
Salute to you too, brother. Thanks for having me, man. And be safe in your travels, man.
All right, peace.
Peace, brother. Thank you.